Hey Flosstube, welcome to Creative Whim Studio. Hey everyone, it's so good to be back home. As much fun as we had, you know how it is. It's exciting to go away. You have a blast while you're there, but man, it's like after a week, I'm ready to come home. So we went to Tennessee to Kristen's house and stayed there Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday we then went downtown Nashville and hung out where Jill and her husband and Vicky and her husband, they were staying down there. So we stayed at the same hotel as them, stayed down there Sunday, Monday, and came home Tuesday. We were going to come home Wednesday, but, you know, a whole day and a half in Nashville, we were ready to come home, you know. So we came home a day early. And so the day we left, that Wednesday, we basically passed Mom and Jerry on the expressway. They ended up getting to our place. I don't even know what time they arrived. I don't know. But anyways, so they had a week to themselves. Well, I mean, Kyle's here, but so they are all settled and everything. And it's great. I mean, it was another reason I was looking forward to coming home because I was really excited to see Mom and Jerry. And we got home. So I didn't tell them we were coming home a day early until we were only like 2 hours away, because we wanted to kind of surprise them, but we were going to get home like 10, I think we got home at 10 p.m., 10:30, something like that. And so they would be sleeping and we didn't want to startle them. So we thought it would be wise to at least let them know we were going to be there in a couple hours. So yeah, it's been great. And the wedding was fabulous. So Friday before the wedding, Kristen and Ralph hosted a party, kind of like, like a rehearsal dinner type thing, but they do it different down there, or maybe it's this just the venue that they had the wedding at. They actually do rehearsal the morning of the wedding. So they didn't have like a rehearsal dinner. So instead, Kristen had a party around the pool, and we had some yard games, and all the bridal party was there with their significant other, and a lot of the family was there from the bride and groom side and friends. We just had so much fun. It was awesome. It was so nice. She had it catered and the food was to die for. Yeah, sometimes you just wish you could eat and eat and eat and never gain weight because the food was so good. Yeah, so the wedding, the venue from where the wedding was, it was at a Quarry. This couple that were from California obviously had tons of money, and they purchased this property by looking at Google Maps. They just saw this piece of property that was for sale and Google mapped it and could see the quarry these people had a vision, obviously. So I'm obviously, as I'm talking, I'm inserting pictures so you can see. And I hadn't seen Vicky, Kristen, and Jill since last September. So it was really good to hang out with all of them. And Vicky recently got married. Vicky got married last year. And, we had met her husband, but when they were dating, we'd met him before. But it was at Vicky's daughter's wedding, so it was real busy, and we really didn't get a chance to talk with him. So it was so nice to spend that time getting to know him over the week as well. So all is good. Kevin and I did go antiquing. What day was that? I think it was Sunday. We went in. Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. So we wanted to go to Mass. So I found this church just 6 miles from Kristen's house, and we get there and realize that the Mass is going to be said in Spanish. And it was too late to go like to any other mass. You know, it was like the last mass of the day at that church. It was like a 1 o'clock mass, and to try to find another place. And anyways, I said, you know what though? I mean, the Catholic mass is done like the same no matter where you are in the world. They say the same readings, they have the same prayers, and so I thought even if it's in Spanish, we'll still be able to follow the mass. And I just really wanted to receive communion, and so we decided to go ahead and go in. And we went in, and we got there like 10 minutes early, and people were coming in, more people were coming in, more people were coming in. And then like mass should have started, and it didn't. And then someone got up and did a prayer. We didn't know what they were saying, but I could tell it was a prayer. And I'm thinking, well, they start their mass different. So then they started playing music, and I don't know, it was like a half an hour into mass, and the priest wasn't there. So someone made an announcement, and then people started leaving. Not a lot of people, but a few here and there were leaving. And I'm like, we decided to leave because we didn't know what they were saying. They could have said the priest is on his way. They could have said the priest is going to be another half an hour. I don't know what they said. So we ended up leaving. But after that, we did some antiquing, and it was a great trip. So I have some haul. I found some really cool stuff, guys. And then we got back. I'm so glad we came back Tuesday because we were going to come back Wednesday, which would have been a late night, and then the grandkids would have come over the next morning. I wouldn't have had time to grocery shop and all that. So coming home Tuesday was really a smart thing to do. So Wednesday basically spent unpacking, doing laundry, visiting, and, getting groceries and stuff like that. And then Wednesday we had the grandkids, which was awesome. And you know what? To see Mom and Jerry interact with those grandkids, it's just the most amazing thing. They play with them, and there's just laughter on both sides, and it's good medicine for my Mom and Jerry as well as for our grandkids. So it was beautiful. I haven't been to the store yet. I told you next time I go to the store I'll buy you fruit snacks.
I'm gonna take a nap.
You didn't take a nap though.
I already take the nap.
You didn't take a nap. And your brother only took a tiny nap.
Yes, Master.
I'm gonna call the nap now.
And it was hot. Like, it's been ridiculously hot here. Today is supposed to be a little cooler, and it was real humid. So I took them outside. Now, here's the other thing. Kevin had band practice for his Beatles tribute band. They practiced, in the studio, and it was on Thursday. So he was busy doing that a lot of the day. And so I took the kids out to play in the water. Well, neither one of them had taken a nap. Ellery would not take a nap. She just too wound up, whatever. She wouldn't take a nap. And then my Mom and Jerry had been out doing errands, and then they came home, and everyone was so excited to see each other that she was really wound up then. And then she kind of settled in a little bit. So I said, why don't you go lay in your bed? She has like this little cot that we put in our room. Well, Easton was in there in the pack and play, and he's normally in the other bedroom, but my Mom and Jerry are in that bedroom. So I'm thinking, well, that's another reason I thought, well, I'll let him fall asleep, and then I can put her in there. So I put her in there, and she's being all quiet. She's being really good. And then I kind of peek over at Easton, and his face, he's laying down. His face was, facing the opposite direction. And I could see his eyes were open, and I'm thinking, this is not going to go well. She just moved her bed. The bed was laying this way, and she moved it to be closer to Easton. sure enough, it didn't go well. They both got up and got out of the bed and out of the pack and play and came out. So anyway, they didn't have a nap, but they were actually really well behaved for not having a nap. And he was just so tired. So they're outside playing in the sprinkler, but he wanted me to carry him through the sprinkler. So I carried this child for like a half an hour outside. So I got completely soaked just like they did. I don't know. It was fun. We had a blast. And then Kyle and Ryan were here, and it was awesome. It was just fun. We had a good time. So, and then when you take a week off work, trying to get caught up, it is insane. It was insane. So I did not get any stitching, any punching, none of that done. I did a lot of sketching in the car. I worked on, designing some things on my laptop, but I did not do any stitching and punching. So that's a bummer, but it is what it is. Okay. Oh yeah, I got some recipes, a couple recipes I forgot to add to my blog. So I will be updating the blog and adding those recipes. I can't say today. I'm definitely not tomorrow. I'm not working on Sundays. And today, I'm not going to have time to do it today because after I record this and edit it, I am doing my CW Live class at 1 o'clock because that's normally on Tuesdays and I wasn't here. So I'm doing the CW Live class today at 1. So anyways, it'll be Monday or Tuesday before I get the blog updated. But anyways, it's a artichoke chicken recipe that was to die for. It has like feta cheese and capers in it. It's got all this flavor. The other thing was the egg rolls. And I have the stuff to make egg rolls this coming week. So, so good. So good. So I'll share those recipes with you. All right, so announcements. All right, CW Live. I know this doesn't pertain to a lot of you, but there are a lot of people that watch my Flosstube that are in CW Live. So I just want to give this shout out that I'm taking July off. The classes were supposed to start Tuesday, July 6th for the new session 6. But I'm just too stressed out with everything going on and trying to prepare for the Silver Needle Retreat that I'm just taking July off. So session 6 will now start August 3rd. Yep, Tuesday, August 3rd. So this is how it's going to work. The people that are already members of CW Live for session 5, if you don't purchase session 6, you will still have access to everything until August 3rd. Obviously, if you purchase session 6, then you're just going to float right into session 6. People that join, new members that join session 6, I'm going to add you as soon as session 5 is over. That will give you an entire month to get acclimated to the Facebook group, to go in and you can, paint some past projects if you want to. So you'll have like a month free, basically, that you'll get to go in and play around. Okay, so that's an amazing value. And I tried to repeat this as much as possible, that when you join CW Live, you not only have access to that current session where I will paint with you live every Tuesday, but you also have all the past lessons from all the past sessions on replay. So all the PDFs are still there. I mean, you have access to a ton of painting projects. So it's really a great value if you're interested in learning to paint, or maybe you have a niece or a granddaughter or someone that would be interested in doing that. So it's a great value. Okay, so Needlework Expo, the date for the fall one has been announced, and it's going to be August 28th through the 30th. It's a Saturday through a Monday. So I already have planned out what I'm going to release for that, and I'm already starting to work on the directions this coming week because I got to be ahead of schedule because summer is so busy. And then Tanya from Blackberry Primitives, so we've been kind of talking back and forth about the linen, and she is going to send me a piece of like a 13 by 17 piece, something like that, of biscotti. So I'm going to hold this up to you guys so you can hold this up to you guys. Hold this up to the camera so you guys can see it. she said people ask her what count it is, and she says she doesn't know. It's just an even weave. So I've ordered that thing, that gauge or whatever ruler from Fat Quarter Shop. It should be here next week. So I'm going to hold that up to this and see what count it is. I don't think it's 40. I'm going to say it's like a 32. I don't know, 32, 35 maybe. So I'm just going to hold this up. This is the color I wanted. I wanted to try the light color. So that's biscotti. She's going to send me a piece, and I'm going to stitch on it and see what it's like. And then I will let you also know, probably in my next Flosstube, what count this linen is. So this linen is not intended for cross stitch. This is what she offers to do. She sells this to do wool applique on. She also said that she is trying to get cross stitching linen in, but what did she say now? She's having a hard time. What did she say? She's looking into cross-stitch linen, but it's very hard to buy at a distributor rate in order to sell wholesale. So if she buys from a distributor, normally then you would sell it for retail. So she's trying to get, you know, I totally get where she's coming from. Anyways, but it's cool that she's looking into it, and it's very possible that these would work. There's some gorgeous colors in here, so there's no reason you can't stitch on this. I'm just curious as to what count it is. So I will stay tuned for that, you guys. I'll let you know. Okay. Last, I think that was it for announcements. Yes, it is. Okay, so I had a lot of people that really loved that t-shirt I showed where it has Ellery and Easton's picture, and then you go like that on it, and then it's just a heart of sequins. So a lot of people loved that. It's the strangest thing because there was no invoice in the box, so I have no idea where it came from. I don't even have the box anymore, or the bag that it came in. And then I went to my bank account and PayPal account, so I wasn't sure how I paid for it, and it doesn't have like the name of the company, because you know how it is. Like, for instance, it could be a person's name on the PayPal account, not the business name. So anyway, I'm having a difficult time finding exactly where I purchased mine. However, I did find a company called Teespring. I'll link it below. And they do the same thing. And I've heard of Teespring before, so I know they're a legit company. So that is that. What else? Sharon, she asked me if I've looked into the old tattered flag for wool. I have not. I will do that though and see if they offer wholesale. I purchased wholesale from them already. I was purchasing weaver's cloth from them, but they aren't, I haven't looked in a little bit, but they were having a hard time getting it, and so they quit offering that wholesale. The other thing I purchased from them is the Ultra Punch needle. So that's where I buy the Ultra Punch from. So yeah, if they sell their wool wholesale, I'll definitely check into that. So thank you for letting me know that, Sharon. Oh, I forgot to write this person's name down. Doggone it. I just wish I wouldn't screw up all the time. Anyways, somebody asked if I was offering the teddy bear calendar this year. I am. I have 170 of them on order. Last year I did 150 and I ran out and people were really bummed. So I went up to 170. Hopefully that will work. And they usually ship July, August. So I did pre-ordering last year on my Etsy shop. I don't think I'm going to do the pre-ordering this year, just for the fact that I don't know exactly when they're coming in. And last year, people paid like May, June, because they used to ship them like the 1st of July. Well, I don't think they shipped them last year until the end of August. And I got message after message, and I totally get it. People were concerned, thinking, am I not going to get my calendar? So I'm just going to wait until they actually come in. I'll post them on Etsy. I sign and date all of them. And if you want a special message written in there, like if you're giving it as a gift or something like that, or just a message to you, whatever, I put that, I write that in there as well. So when you check out, there's a little special instructions or something, and you can put in there if you want a special note written in your calendar. So that's one of the perks of buying it from me. I don't know where else carries them other than calendars.com. is the only other place I have seen them. So that's that. There's going to be 170 of them, so hopefully, hopefully everybody can get. Speaking of the teddy bear calendar, I got a message from someone at Legacy Publishing, and she says, "Do you have any teddy bear artwork for the next calendar?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I have the whole calendar sketched out, but I haven't painted any. So by this week coming up, I have to have the cover and 2 inside pages done." Oh, and other exciting news, I have been asked by Riley Blake Designs to design the next 2 lines. The next one is due August 1st. Yeah, now you know why I've put off CW Live until August, because I've got so much going on in the next 6 weeks. So I have to have the next one, and the subject matter for my next fabric line is going to knock your socks off. And then the line after that is due, I can't remember now, the end of the year or something like that. And it's going to be patriotic. So I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. All right. Next we have works in progress, or whips. I'm knocking stuff over because I've got myself squeezed in here because somebody has their drums right on the other side of this table. I don't know who that would be, but okay, whips. My first whip is, I just did this morning. I covered a 24-inch, I covered a 24-inch cradled board with scrapbook paper for our last CW Live lesson for session 5. So the scrapbook paper is over the edge, as you can see. I've got to cut that, and then I'm going to sand it so it's nice and flat. So what is going to go on this, you ask? Let me put this down here. Our last lesson for session 5 is going to be this angel. And it's going to be obviously round, as you can see. So won't that be cool? Okay, another whip. So we're behind the 8 ball here on CW Live. We painted this before I went to Tennessee. That's how far we got. And then today, like I said, at 1 o'clock, we're going to paint it some more. I'm probably going to have to do a 3rd day because there's so much detail in this little painting. But this has been in my sketchbook since I think it was 2015, something like that. It's been in my sketchbook forever. But it says we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. And it's a Ronald Reagan quote. And that is so true. We can't save the world, but we can make a difference in the people that we do touch and reach out to. So I'm really excited about that. I know what y'all gonna say. You're gonna ask me, oh, that'd make a great cross stitch. And it really would. I think she is super cute. So yeah, someday it'll be a cross stitch. Maybe even a punch needle. On the punch needle though, I'm not gonna be able to do the words because it's way too detailed.
Hi, Flosstube.
And then I don't remember where I left off for my cross stitch, so I'm just going to show it again. I can't remember if I showed, if I stitched on it after last time I showed it. Okay, that's how far I've gotten. Long may she wave. I love this fabric. Oh, I'll have to tell you what it is. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's cocoa or mocha, but it's Weeks Dye Works. So yeah, that's how far I've gotten. Did I even write down what fabric this is? I know it's 40 count. It's 40 count Weeks Dye Works. Cocoa or mocha? Right here, cocoa. 40 count cocoa, Weeks Dye Works. Stitch count 142 by 92, so it'll be about 7 inches by 5. 7 by 5. I'm really trying to make the dimensions and sizes of my cross stitch so that they are easy to frame, like with ready-made frames, so you don't have to get a custom frame made. Yeah, I know that's helpful to y'all. So I do take these things in consideration. It doesn't always work out that way. Just know I'm trying. All right, so I am looking forward to working on this because, like I said, I didn't take it to Kristen's. So, I mean, actually, I lied. I did take it. I just didn't work on it. Okay, that's it for whips. And then finishes. I was jonesing to paint something yesterday. It's really weird. I get anxiety when I haven't painted in a while. So the last time I painted something was on Witcha Paintin' Wednesday before I went to Tennessee. So last Wednesday, it had been a week. So Thursday. So yeah, it had been about 10 days since I painted. And I just I got to get it out. I got to get it out. I got to cleanse. I get anxiety, I swear. So I was really busy yesterday, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to just paint. I'm going to paint for an hour. I'm just going to throw something down. So this is what I painted. And this is from my sketchbook. So I'm still working on Whimsy 365, doing a sketch a day. And this is a little series that I'm sketching. And so this is a bird, and then there's a bird peeking here and a bird peeking in the side here. And then I've got one that has 3 foxes peeking in with flowers in the center. So I'm kind of going through these different animals and making these cute little drawings. So I just took my watercolor pad and just went at it with acrylics for an hour, and that's what I came up with. So it was really fun and freeing, and I made myself use bigger brushes so I couldn't get detail because I'm trying to challenge myself to paint more loosely. And by using bigger brushes and then putting a time limit on it, you work faster and you tend to not get so tight and so I want to loosen up in my painting, you guys. So that's that. And I can't loosen up in my painting for my teddy bear calendar because then it wouldn't look like it normally does, and people have been collecting them since 1999. And that sounds like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? And obviously for my fabric line, there's a certain look to do that I can't paint really loose, but in my just fun painting stuff, I really need to loosen up. Okay, why did I just tell you all that? I don't know. All right, so we have a couple people that sent in their finishes. Now, I think it's very interesting because they both finished the same thing, and this particular piece is also something I had planned on showing for previous finishes. So it's all about Pet All the Dogs. All right, so first up we have Cheryl Thompson. Cheryl stitched Pet All the Dogs. She said that, let me see. She stitched it on 14 count Aida. She had it framed locally at American Art and Frame. And she really tried hard to take the picture without getting any glare, she said, because the color is so rich, but the glare is kind of keeping it from showing how rich the color is. She said, I'm trying to use a smaller fabric count as I'm running out of wall space. I bet you all can relate to that. And then next we have Daleen Wilson, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with her. She has a Flosstube channel called Sew Grateful. She said, heartfelt thanks for designing the pattern Pet All the Dogs. My name is Daleen. I have a Flosstube channel called Sew Grateful. I wanted to share with you the finished framed piece. I did make a few switcheroos. She personalized the piece by adding at the top each of our dogs we had growing up. Then near the bottom right hand corner, I added the names of the dogs we have loved during our marriage. Sincere thanks for designing this wonderful memory piece. Here's to Duffy, Snooky, Taffy, Nipsey, Tony, Blackie, Daisy, and Quincy, Libby, and Mazzy. I am so grateful that you shared such a lovely piece. It will grace our home for the years to come. Your fan, Daleen. That is awesome, Daleen. I love that you changed it and personalized it for your own sweet and precious fur babies. I think that's awesome. So thank you, both Cheryl and Daleen, for sharing your finished frame, Pet All the Dogs. So that leads us into previous finishes. Now, the reason I'm showing these particular samplers and whatevers is because I was gathering models for StitchCon. We dropped off a trunk show on our way to Tennessee. We stopped in Cincinnati at Keepsakes. It was awesome. The only problem is it was at the end of the day. It was like 5:30, I think it was. They closed at 5 and they were having a StitchCon meeting. So all the people that put StitchCon on were there having a meeting finalizing things. By the way, StitchCon's going on right now. So we stopped and dropped off a trunk show. So I was going through all of these boxes of my models and pulling things out, and especially the samplers, saying to myself, these need to be on display. These, I'm not going to keep these just boxed up anymore. So I have hung things around the studio. Some things went to Keepsakes. It's a huge trunk show, you guys. And I'm just so excited, and I'm so grateful that they invited me to send my things and be a part of StitchCon, even though I couldn't be there in person. So I'm going to show you some previous finishes. In keeping with Daleen and Cheryl's finishes, I'm going to show you Pet All the Dogs. Now, this also comes with the option to change all the dogs into cats. And then I also charted the words, hug all the cats, to go in place of Pet All the Dogs. So if you're more of a cat person, then all the little dogs you see down here can be switched out to cats, and then all of these dogs here can be switched into cats. I just love this piece. I love the color. So let me give you the deets on this. It's stitched 1/2 on 35 count linen. Weeks Dye Works 35 count tin roof. All right, this is with 2 DMC colors and the rest Weeks Dye Works, but I do have the DMC equivalent on there for you. It was stitched by Donna Fedewa of Michigan and framed by the one and only Paula of Craft Gallery. Now, I have mine framed in green. I really like it framed in red as well. Okay, so this one is Our Humble Homestead. This is a more recent release. Okay, so this is 1/2 on 40 count Picture This Plus Ale linen. This has 2 Weeks Dye Works and the rest the DMC. This came out in 2021. I want to say that came out January. I can't remember. I love this, and I finished it on a book. One of my favorite ways of finishing. That way they can stand on a shelf. So cool. I love that. Next we have Star Quilt. As I was digging through the models to pull the models I needed for StitchCon Trunk Show, I saw this one and I'm like, this has to hang in my studio or my house. I love this one so much. Oh, I forgot to mention who stitched the Homestead. I'm so sorry. That was stitched by Tina Bush. Yes, thank you so much, Tina. She does a beautiful job too. Okay, Star Quilt is stitched 2/2 on 35 count linen, measuring 7.5 by 7.5, stitch count 138 by 139. Stitched by Matthew Penton of Ohio. This is stitched with 2 DMC and the rest of Weeks Dye Works. This came out in 2019 at Market in March. And I framed this one myself. We have a lot of frames left over from our previous business, Primitive Folk. Okay, next we have Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love. This was, so Pet All the Dogs, this one here, Heaven and Nature, and Newcastle Bouquet. Those 4 were my dipping my toe into the sampler world. And all 4 of those were released 2020 at Market in March in Nashville. So that's why I'm showing you these. Newcastle Bouquet I do not have here today because that went to StitchCon. So anyways, this one, let's see, stitched 1/2 on 40 count linen. It was Weeks Dye Works 40 count Zweigart based linen in the color straw. This was stitched by Mary Schreiner of Michigan. The stitch count is 264 by 320. Finish size 13 1/4 by 16 inches. This uses 3 classic colorworks, 3 DMC, and 4 Weeks Dye Works colors. And I have the DMC equivalent on all of them. I've seen this one being stitched on Instagram recently. Some people just finished it. I love this one because I love the softness of it. It really, to me, looks antique-y, and I don't know, I just love the addition of the white in there. It just really makes it pop. I think it's so cute. I forgot to mention that Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love, as well as this one, Heaven and Nature, were framed by Paula at Craft Gallery. Speaking of Craft Gallery, on our way back from Tennessee, we stopped there and picked up 2 new framed pieces that will be released here coming up in August. So yay, it was great to see Paula and Carlton. Carlton's doing awesome after his last surgery, and he's stitching again, which is such a gift, and it's just amazing. Amazing. So yeah, it was great to see them, and it was really great to pick up those 2 pieces. Her framing is absolutely incredible. So here we go. This is Heaven and Nature. So let me get back. You can see the whole piece together. That is one ginormous house. I'm going to zoom in and talk about it, give you all the stats as I'm scrolling up. Okay, Heaven and Nature, stitched 1/2 on 40 count linen. Finished size 14 1/4 by 18 inches. The stitch count is 284 by 360. It was stitched on Weeks Dye Works 40 count Zweigart base parchment. It uses 1 classic colorworks, 2 DMC, and a bunch of Weeks Dye Works. Stitched by Jerry English of Canada. Yay! Whoops, I'm not centered. So this piece, you know, it's called Heaven and Nature. It says, "Let Heaven and Nature Sing." I know that's a Christmas song, so people tend to think this is a Christmas sampler. However, the only thing to me that screams Christmas is the red bulbs on the end of the trees. If you just made those green, it would just look like a tree. I don't know. I don't think it screams Christmas at all. So don't pigeonhole this piece into a Christmas stitch. And look at that frame. The frame color. I love how Paula picks out frames that the frame matches something that is in the sampler. So this matches the deer, and there's a lot of the browns kind of peppered in through here. And just take a gander at that house. I love it. So yeah, that is Heaven and Nature. I just realized I have my pants on inside out. They're like, what do you call them? Like running pants or whatever. They're kind of like tight or whatever. But on the side, they have pockets, and I like to put my cell phone in there. And I'm like, where'd my pockets go? I have my pants on inside out. Yep. Okay. So those were previous finishes. Now I'm going to go into haul, and then we're going to be done. So in our little antiquing excursion that Kevin and I had, I found some books for finishing. Love that kind of a burgundy brown. It reminds me of Weeks Dye Works Chris's Bonbon, if you're familiar. This one is awesome, kind of a rusty red color. This yellow one, I like it, but it's too bright for me. I am going to be antiquing that just to tone that down, make it more of a gold. So the first place we stopped, I got an adorable little sewing machine. It says Gateway German sewing machine. So yeah, I don't know anything about the sewing machine. I have not had time to do any sort of research on it at all. But is it adorable? It's just so cute. So yeah, got that. It's just really cute. This one, it's pretty rusty. It's display only. It's not like I'm gonna be using them, so I don't worry about that. And then this one I got as well. Look how cute. What does it say again? Eldridgette? I don't know. I looked on my phone, kind of researched it a little bit just to see, you know, what they're worth, or, you know, just to make sure I wasn't overpaying. Then I thought, if I love it and I think the price is decent, who really cares, right? But I didn't find a lot of information on this particular one. So I want to do a little bit of research and see. I'm just curious. Wow, it's really hard. But isn't it cool? So I'm getting quite a little collection going here. I have 3 little sewing machines now. My other one is sitting back here. This is a Singer. This one is my favorite so far. But yeah, I love them. Yeah, I need to put up a little shelf somewhere and just have all my sewing machines and different sewing accoutrements up there. And then, while I was at Kristen's, you know those darn Instagram ads, they get me every time. So this came from, it's called Uncommon Goods, and they make pottery. Now, I don't know if they're handmade. I don't know. It looks handmade. But this one, oh, look how cute that is. It says create on it. Okay. Look how cute. So I'm going to take this up to the house because I'm going to be doing lots of watercolor painting up there. And it's either going to hold my brushes, but I'm actually thinking about just putting my water in there for watercolors. Then look at this. It's a big spool of thread. And this comes off so you can store stuff inside. You could put your orts in there or something. This little dish could sit next to it while you're stitching. Your scissors go in this little hole. I don't know if you can see my finger going in that hole. My scissors are up at the house. I really wanted to show it with my scissors in there, but I'm like, I ain't going all the way up to the house just to show you that. And then, you know, this little dish, I got my thimble. Not that I use it, it's just for looks. And I got some needles in here. But look at, is it got a little pin cushion in the center? Is that not adorable? So I will put a link below if this is something that you're interested in having sitting in your stitchy spot. Oh my gosh, look at how adorable it is. Yeah, if I do it this way, you can see that hole better right there where your scissors go. Isn't it cool? I think everybody that sews or stitches needs one of these in their studio or in their stitchy spot. All right, guys, that's it for haul. So we're moving on to giveaway. So last week you had to say the word summer, and the prize is a pattern of your choice. So I'm going to insert the YouTube random comment picker here. Sorry for all the racket. I'm sitting right next to the printer, and Kevin's got it running, so a little bit loud. Anyways, you had to say the word summer to be entered in to win a pattern of your choice. Let's see who wins. Excuse me. Hannah Mansfield won. She said, I'm excited to go to the Sandbanks Provincial Park this summer where there is a fabulous beach. We try to go every summer along with some of our kids and their families. It is usually a fabulous time. As long as all stays good with COVID, then we will be okay. You have a fabulous week off and enjoy your mom's visit when you get back. Teresa, yes, slow down. I try to tell my daughter that. She is busy as a top. Crazy. Lots of hugs to you and yours. Thank you so much, Hannah. And thank you, everyone, for your wonderful comments. And let's get back to our program. Congratulations, Hannah. If you could please email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com Let me know what pattern you want. I will get that in the mail to you ASAP. So this week, the question for you is, where do you like to buy your stitchy stuff at? Like, do you have an LNS near you? If so, put the name of the LNS and your city and state so that other people might maybe live in the area or traveling and say, oh, I'm going there next week. I'm going to check that place out. Or if you buy online because you don't have an LNS in your area, let us know where you'd like to shop online. And I am giving away, come on, I have to give away Pet All the Dogs. I mean, it was like the highlight of the episode. So, yay. Pet All the Dogs. If you're interested in this, your keyword to say is stitchy stuff. STITCHY space STUFF. Stitchy stuff. All right, that is the key word. And if you don't spell it right, you might not get in the drawing. So I will put how to spell it right here too. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It feels good to be back. I hope next week I have a lot of stitching and punching to show you. I know I have artwork to show you as a definite, but yeah, I'm going to be able to stitch and start the angel punch needle. And the other punch needle I'm working on is going to be for the fall Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. So I won't be able to show you the progress on that, but I will work on the angel punch needle too. So anyways, again, thank you for being here, and we will see you next week. Don't forget, create every day. Bye now. What do you have?
Pocket.
Pocket? What's in your pocket? Hello? I thought you said that was a remote. Is it a phone or a remote? He's learning that pockets are cool. Pockets are cool, aren't they?
Cold.
What?
Cold.
They're cold? Pockets are cold?
I got cold.
Pockets are cold. Yes, you sure are cute.